Now the people are calling for the Rajapaksas and all 225 politicians to leave, but have the people thought of who will replace them? Do we need such a top-heavy number given luxury perks and special privileges in Parliament to govern such a small island? In some countries like Sweden, where parliamentarians use public transport, the whole parliament has 3 vehicles only to be used for official purposes. Sri Lankans worldwide show solidarity with protesters in Sri Lanka. Sri Lankans across 50 states in the US protested on May 1st. The international community with mixed feelings views Sri Lanka's current economic, political and social turmoil. However, Sri Lankans overseas feel that it's time that they stand in solidarity with fellow Sri Lankans to voice against corruption and injustice. Sri Lankans living across 50 states in the US took to the streets voicing for change in solidarity with fellow Sri Lankans. Some footage we present today.
Sri Lankans in Atlanta had organized a protest opposite the CNN broadcasting station in the US today.
Go to jail! Go to jail! Go to jail! Go to jail!
இலங்கை நாட்டு மக்களோட பிரச்சனை இதுல தமிழ் சிங்களம் எந்த வேறுபாடும் இல்லை. எங்கட ஒற்றுமை தான் அவங்களோட வீழ்ச்சிக்கு முதல் படி. சோ ஒற்றுமையா இருப்போம். அவங்கள ஜெயிலுக்கு அனுப்புவோம்.
Protesters converged in the US state of California against the Sri Lankan government. Sri Lankans in Florida also organized a protest in Miami. Actress Sanjeevani Veerasinghe joined a demonstration in Los Angeles. Sri Lankans in Israel also organized a demonstration.
Emeritus GR, he has the authority to resolve the political crisis. In a conversation with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said the President, under the 20th Amendment, has the power to make decisions to resolve the ongoing political crisis, and he would extend his total cooperation to any decisions made by the President. The Daily Mirror learned that Prime Minister Rajapaksa had informed the President that he did not have to wait to make any decisions but could do so immediately as he had the power to do so. Senior sources said that while Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has refused to resign, saying he had the majority support in Parliament, the President has been privately urging him to leave. However, the Prime Minister had informed the President that he would not vacate his seat when trying to resolve the economic crisis, but he could do so if the President were to sack him. The President has for weeks now been meeting different political groups to seek a solution to the ongoing political crisis. While one section is calling on the President to appoint a new interim government with a new Prime Minister, there's another group that say that Mahinda Rajapaksa cannot be removed as he still holds the majority in Parliament. The opposition, however, has been going all out asking for Gotabaya Rajapaksa to step down first, as reported by Jamila Hussain from Daily Mirror. Indian credit for food goes to import steel. Written by Bandulo Sirimano in the Sunday Times on 1st May 2022. Business Times section. Despite the guidelines issued for the use of a short-term US 1 billion Indian lines of credit solely for the procurement of food items and medicines, Sri Lanka is planning to use these funds to import steel from India, reliable official sources said. A sum of $250 million has already been spent from this loan facility, and a part of the balance of $750 million is to be used for the steel imports. Several economists expressed concern at this move when the country urgently needs food items, essential commodities, fuel, LP gas, and even much-needed foreign exchange suffering masses. India is extending extra lines of credit to Sri Lanka to keep bilateral trade between the two countries intact and maintain its business interests alive even amidst the country's worst economic downturn. It has been revealed that several ruling party business dealers with high political connections were behind the steel deal under cover of expediting the construction work of mixed development projects even during the difficult period. Preliminary negotiations were held with the State Bank of India to obtain the necessary funds from the credit line for the procurement of steel required for the construction work of several ongoing mixed development projects during former Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa's tenure in office. Sri Lanka will be receiving another Indian line of credit amounting to $500 million to Sri Lanka for urgent fuel imports. India has provided financial assistance to the tune of 2.4 billion in the last 3 months to Sri Lanka, which includes a 400 billion Reserve Bank of India currency swap, deferral of $500 million loan, and a 1.5 billion credit line for importing essential commodities including fuel, food and medicines. Colombo News First said the government has to accept the people's demands, says the former president and the chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Maithripala Sirisena. Participating in the SLFP May Day rally on 1st May, the former president pointed out that the present president took over a prosperous country. However, it has come to over 200,000 to 300,000 people having to expect hunger and starvation. The Samagi Janabalavagia says that the no confidence motion and the impeachment motion will be brought to Parliament on Tuesday 3rd, as reported in News First. This was stated by parliamentarian Harin Fernando while addressing the SJB May Day rally in Colombo at the Independence Square premises. Lankan president finds a way to ease Mahinda Rajapaksa out of premiership. Colombo, April 30th, News in Asia. The Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, in collaboration with the 11-party independent group in Parliament, has found a constitutional way to dislodge Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa from the Prime Ministership and form an all-party government. The 11-party group's enemy number one is Mahinda Rajapaksa, his brother Basil and son Namal, and not President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Therefore, the plan is to retain Gotabaya Rajapaksa as president and engineer the exit of Mahinda, his brother Basil, and Chamal Rajapaksa and son Namal Rajapaksa. Decided after a meeting between the President and the 11-party group on Friday, the plan is to form a 5-member group drawn from the 11-party independent group to take forward the mechanism of forming an all-party government. This is a euphemism for gathering majority support in parliament to form an all-party government without Mahinda Rajapaksa and his siblings barring President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. If the 11-party group can muster the support of 113 MPs in the House of 225 members, a simple majority, the President can call upon the group to name its nominee for premiership. In that case, Mahinda Rajapaksa quits office automatically. The new premier will then have to prove majority support for him in parliament. On his part, Mahinda has said that he will quit if the president asks him to. But at the same time, he made it clear that he would not take a subservient role in the ruling dispensation after being sacked. He will make a clean break with it and sit on the opposition benches as an opposition party. According to Mahinda, he has the support of the majority in the ruling Sri Lanka Purijana Peramuna SLPP at the provincial, local and grassroots levels. He will be voted to power in the next parliamentary election. Fractured parliament. Given the president's instructions to the 11-party group to gather support for an all-party government, the political scene has now shifted to parliament, but the going there is not expected to be accessible as parliament is a very fractured entity with political parties there pulling in different directions. The main opposition party in parliament, the Samagi Jana Balavegyo SJP and the Janata Vimukta Peramuna JVP, are against forming an all-party government with Gotabaya Rajapaksa continuing as president. Both want president to go. The SJP is to move a no-confidence motion against the government and tout the idea of impeaching the president. The Tamil National Alliance wants to know what the next government has for the Tamils before joining any move to dislodge the present regime. The Tamil Progressive Alliance, representing the Indian origin Tamils, wants the abolition of the 20th Amendment and its replacement by the 19th Amendment so that Parliament has more power. Mahinda Rajapaksa has put forward a proposal to have a mix of the best parts of the 19th and 20th Amendments to be presented as the 21st Amendment. Therefore, what will happen in Parliament when the issue of gathering support for an all-party government with Gotabaya Rajapaksa continuing as executive president is anyone's guess. Mahinda Rajapaksa is confident that he will be the opposition leader, but will the current leader, Sajith Premadasa of the SJP, meekly surrender that position? It is doubtful that JVP will support Mahinda, who will compete with it for the singular nationalist constituency. Minister of Health Professor Channa Jayasumana has issued a Gazette Extraordinary allowing a price increase of 40% on 60 varieties of medicinal drugs. The communique dated 28th of April says every trader, distributor, pharmacist, medical practitioner, dentist, veterinary surgeon, medical institution including a private medical institution, pharmacy or person who or which has the scheduled medicine for sale shall maintain the prices of the scheduled medicine at the maximum retail price or revised retail price, whichever is less. Going through the Gazette list, comparably, the prices of most essential drugs are lower than what we pay in developed countries. We bring you the latest unbiased news on the Sri Lankan crisis issues. We are pleased to bring them to your doorstep. This is our pledge to the expat Sri Lankans worldwide. Thank you for your viewing. Stay safe and goodbye for now.